Hello everyone, this is my recap of game 11. As we had another short draw today and I'm running out of introductions, let me not spend one for such a short game. Jan started with 1 e4, and after e5, knight f3, knight c6, he played bishop b5, opting for the same Ruy Lopez as he did many times before. a6, no more Berlin, bishop a4, knight f6, castles, bishop e7, d3, b5, bishop b3, d6 is a position we actually had in game, I think 5, where Jan played c3. This time he preferred h3, which is not a surprise at all. At least it shouldn't be, as Jan has played it quite often, and he has also played it against Dink himself in Yekaterinburg in the candidates, for instance. Dink played knight a5, which is a rare move. People normally castle first, but it's like the old, not the oldest, but the old main line. Bishop a2, c5, knight c3, bishop e6, and Jan played bishop g5. The alternative is knight h4. That leads to, I would say, sharper positions. Bishop g5, though, is a plan that Jan seems to like. White is planning to take on f6, playing knight d5, just as he did in game 5. Castles, bishop takes f6, bishop takes f6, knight d5. Dink played g6 this time. And queen d2 is a little surprise. People normally played c3 here. Queen d2 is smart. The queen is keeping an eye on this knight. Dink played bishop g7, which is normal. Knight c6 was also decent. And Jan reacted quickly with knight g5, which kind of forced Dink to make some decision. As well, first of all, knight takes c6 is a bit of a threat. And after bishop d7, f4, white is actually better. And moreover, it's important that after h6, I mean, you clearly don't want to take, but after h6, there is f5, and white gets this crushing attack. After queen takes g5, queen takes a5, white is just much better, as black cannot take. And after h takes f6, it's the same story, and it's important that after bishop h6, white has h4. So this is bad. And this is why bishop d7 is not the move. The normal reaction, though, would be to play knight c6. But then black had to see that after f4, he has this very important move, knight e7, as there is no other way of stopping f4, f5, and e takes f4 doesn't work as this tactics, for instance, works for white. So knight c6 followed by knight e7 was probably the most precise way. Then after f5, both taken on f5 and d5 are kind of okay, so white probably has to do something like, for instance, this, where the game will most probably finish in a draw. Still, knight c6, knight e7 is not the easiest thing to figure out over the board, and Dink played c4 instead, which many people did not quite like, me included, but actually it's not that bad that it looks. Still, white is better after knight takes c6, which Jan played, fe, knight e3. He played this important move, bishop h6, as white is now attacking the pawn on c4. Black has to counterattack in some way, and he's also planning this trade on e3. Jan played rook a to d1, which is okay. Now black had two ways to prepare for d takes c4, followed by taking on d6 eventually, which are rook b8 and rook c8. Dink played rook b8. In the game, they are pretty similar, so the point of rook c8 is that once again, if white will just take everything, then black will be very, very close to a draw in some lines like this. And if white plays something like queen e2, then white is just slightly better. But yeah, black is not yet lost, to say the least. Dink played rook b8 with pretty much the same idea, and just like after rook c8, something like queen e2 was the move here. And I am actually quite surprised that Jan didn't try that, as despite being on +1, I think it was just a free roll. And after, for instance, bishop takes c3, which is probably the best move, queen takes c3, and queen c7, well, he could at very least try b4, takes, followed by d3, d4. Well, it's not much, but white is the only side trying here. If takes e3 here would also give him quite a pleasant pressure. It's not the end of the world for black, but it's just a free roll. For instance, after queen takes c3, queen c7, d takes c4, knight takes c4, positions like this are also quite a lot better for white, as he is planning rook d3 followed by rook d1. Anyway, this would have been quite unpleasant for Dink, I guess. Jan, after some thought, decided to take on c4, which after this like series of trades led to the rook ending, which Dink, well, it's probably fair to say managed to hold, but it's not such a difficult task. So after rook c6, rook takes c3, rook takes c4, rook takes c3, we have a material balance. Jan tried his last trick with winning the pawn on e5, which first of all would be still a draw, and secondly Dink managed to find this good series of moves, forcing white king to go to h3 to protect the g2 pawn, and then playing rook e2, followed by attacking the rook, and when the rook goes away, black is just in time to capture e4, and after rook e8, king f7, rook e5, king f6, as the game finished in a draw. So yeah, another decent game from both. The number of games left is now small, but Dink has 2 games with white pieces left. One of them actually in the next round, so come join us, people, the day after tomorrow to watch Dink trying to strike back.